I'm going to call the pre-council for the city of Ashtabula to order. The date is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2026. Or Monday. Last time was Tuesday, sorry. Thank you. And would you like to call the roll?
Mr. Roskovich, Mr. Simeone,
Here.
Mrs. Foglio,
Here.
Mr. Guerrero,
Here.
Ms. Holman,
Present.
Mrs. Mills,
Here.
Mrs. DiGiacomo,
Here.
Mr. Timonier,
Here.
Ms. Cooper, Mr. Khan.
Here.
I'd like to welcome all the visitors. For those who aren't familiar, we will have a public portion if you want to say something, but that will be in the regular council, which will start at 7 p.m. President's report. President Roskovich is not here, so I do not have a report from him. Administrative reports, we can probably just move on to those. City manager.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I have a couple ordinances to ask for tonight. First is an ordinance with GPD for engineering, design, and construction administration for the 2026 paving program. Amount not to exceed $110,000, and that'll come out of the Paving Levy Fund 212. Next is a MOU with Local 1197, and this is to help clarify departmental seniority within the Public Works Department and to remove obsolete supervisor positions listed within the collective bargaining agreement. We, for many years, have had, as you know, traffic and Public Works kind of all in the same realm down there. The department wanted more clarification of that traffic position within Public Works. We did just have Mr. Jahola, who was the foreman in Public Works, retire, and there's discussion about the foreman in traffic retiring. So this plays into seniority for bidding the position going forward and who's able to bid those two positions. So the union did want some clarity on that, so we've resolved that. And Ms. Holman brought up some language that was still in the contracts for supervisors that don't exist back when we had a income tax department and when finance was called the auditor's office. So those two positions are coming out of the collective bargaining agreement. Next is an ordinance with Johnston Tree Service for the removal of various trees around the city in an amount not to exceed $17,200, and that expense will come from the Public Works Fund 205. Next, finally, with this one we've been working on for quite a while, is the agreement with Eastgate for the Appalachian Community Grant Program Sub-Recipient Grant Agreement. And this is for the Main Avenue Facade Program project within the city of Ashtabula. We're getting really excited to kick that off. We should be getting really close to bidding out some of the projects for the people on Main Avenue. And we're really looking forward to that project kicking off this spring and summer. Next is our renewal of our life insurance policies for employees. This is the group life insurance coverage for employees, an amount not to exceed 26 cents per $1,000 for basic life and 20 cents per $1,000 for AD&D. The rate is guaranteed until May of 2028, and that expense comes from the general fund. The AD&D expense is the same as it has been. We did have an increase of 1.5 cents for the basic life policy. And then two ordinances that will appear on future agendas. An ordinance granting the Lithbridge Community Association permission to hold the annual Ashtabula Wine and Walleye Festival in the harbor, July 24th through the 26th this year in conjunction with the city. And also an ordinance authorizing an agreement with Grand Finale Fireworks to provide the fireworks display for the 2026 Wine and Walleye Festival. And Mr. Vice President, that's all I have for my report tonight.
Mr. President, I have a few things for the city manager, if you don't. The pothole that I just asked you about on the corner of First and Minnesota. when Mr. Stuyvesant was here last meeting, you know, and he mentioned about maybe alternatives to actually paving some of these roads, I've been giving that a little more thought. Because we have a couple roads, specifically east and west, Lake Cliff Drive there off Minnesota. They're really bad. I mean, they're almost unpassable. Is there any way we can fill those in with some kind of asphalt grindings or?
We can take a look at that, but the grinding is just a very temporary measure if we were to do that. And we'll take a look at those roads back there and see what's going on with them, if there's an underlying reason that they're falling apart.
And then the other thing is, now that we're coming up on paving season again, can you explain to us the procedure after these roads? Do we have an inspector on site or?
Yeah,
Because
so
I'll tell you, like East 17th, you paved last year, and it's already cracking, puddling. I just think it was a poor pave job. I mean, I don't know if it was the required amount of inches but I mean, that should last less than a year.
Cracking on roads is not uncommon after a year, unfortunately. But to answer your question, GPD, the contract that you would consider to approve tonight, it includes all that. Yes, an inspector is there. Yes, they probe the asphalt as it goes down to make sure they're putting the correct depth down. They're also there when they mill it to make sure that they're taking out as much as required in the contract. And then all the quantity tickets come back. They're verified by the company as well. And then that's before anything is presented to us to pay anything.
Okay, well, I think that inspector needs to be a little more visible, because when I was watching Harmon get paved last year, I didn't see any inspector there. And I watched that project like an eagle. And
The inspector honestly looks just like the rest of the crew. They have a vest on.
well, and I guess that they blended in
Yeah.
fairly well. I'll get them credit for that. But I mean,
No,
we're paying a lot of money for these roads. I think they should last maybe just a little bit longer than one season. I mean,
Mr. Vice President, I have to agree with Mr. Guerrero. I go down Columbus Avenue to church a lot. I don't know which side we paved and which side we didn't pave, because they both look horrible. And I know we just paved them last year. Was it last year? Year before?
the half of Columbus.
The half of Columbus. I can't tell which half we did and which half we didn't do. They both look, our roads
Well,
just,
they paved the west side, but
yeah, you can't tell
you
me
can't.
Oh, I know.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Guerrero, I had some questions last year about the paving, and I just simply reached out to Mr. Timonier, and he wouldn't inspect it. So I would say we have to sometimes do our own due diligence. I don't know about what they do or who's supposed to do what, but if you see something, say something. I've had to do it. It would be nice if they were to do it, because we do spend quite a bit of money with them. But if you see something, report it, and I believe they'll go back out and check it and repair it.
Well, and I would love to do that. I mean, unfortunately, they didn't cover paving at the mortuary school. I mean, I'm not an expert. I like these guys that we're paying are. I'm hoping that they're doing a good job. I mean, I just think it should last a little longer than it appears to be lasting.
Mr. Manager, when it gets time to paving, can you go over that process again too? Because I think for folks, like, we'll get calls where they'll start to mill, then there's cones, then they're like, oh, they forgot us, it's just left. And then, because then the process, then they come back, they do a certain thing, and then they come back and then they do all the, the manhole covers, and it's a process. So then it'll start raining, and then they'll say, they didn't, and I know it takes a while. They'll do bulks of roads, a couple at a time, but then it seems like they're missing in action. And so when it starts, maybe we can go over that again, because it just seems like it takes so long for the final product, but they're doing so many at a time. So then, and then they come back. Then cones are sitting there, and then sometimes I would get calls that they're working, later, so you know what the contract says, how late that they can be working till, all that stuff.
Mr. Manager, this last round of complaints I got on the phone was not the first round. I mean, I've had people call me up and say, they paved over the manhole cover, they did this, they did that, and I just think
Well,
that
you have to relay those to me, so we can go out there and check those things. Again, I do know the inspectors are there. We do get the tickets for materials, what's been milled out, what goes down. But if there's something that you see or somebody else sees, we can't just be urban legend. Call us, we'll go inspect it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Vice President? I also have questions about roads. So on Adams Avenue and Washington Avenue, Adams was just paved 2 years ago. We have road cuts. So here's my question list. What inspection steps are required after a road cut?
What inspection steps? Typically, well, to start with, there's an oops ticket usually called in, which means we're notified that there's going to be a cut or potential for a cut. Our staff goes out and does the storm drains and sewer lines to make sure that those are marked for the contractor when they go cut it. And then depending on if it's our cut or if it's a utility company cut, they do the work. They're not allowed to put material that they take out of the hole back into the hole, so everything has to be new materials. They fill it up. As most of you know, or should know by now, anything that's done in the wintertime or starting sometime in November when the plants close down, these are all temporary patches. Come when the asphalt plant opens up, Aqua especially, who makes most of the cuts, they typically contract with a local paving company who then goes out, removes all that material, compacts it, and then does a permanent repair on the top of it. And that goes for our cuts as well. Right now, everything is temporary in Colmac, which does not look pretty, or it's not smooth. It's not rolled at this point, but come spring, that all gets cut out and the new tops go on it, the permanent repairs.
Okay, next question, who's responsible for inspection?
So it's typically the company themselves or our staff will go out and look at those cuts.
So we have an inspector on staff?
We do. Mr. Jepson
Okay.
handles a lot of our road stuff, along with, I mean, it's not hard to look and see if a patch is done right. So Mr. Melnick will sometimes go out. I can go out, look at patches. We routinely have conversations about patches.
So are cut compaction tested before final approval?
No.
So then who signs off?
There's no sign-off procedure that we have for an open cut.
Is there a warranty with it?
I think our ordinance state that they're responsible for the cuts for 2 years, I think it is. It's in our
years?
ordinances. It's either a year or 2 years. I don't recall which.
All right, I have more paving questions. So of course, every year when we give who gets to get paved and who doesn't, there are people that are gleeful and people that are not so much. So my question is that I was asked, how does somebody know? Like, do we have a running history of when a road was last paved?
Oh, yes. We have an extensive history of the roads paved.
So,
I think we've shared that map with council before.
well, you might have.
Last year we did, yeah.
So then how would I access that now?
I can get it to you again.
Okay, because she believes her road was last paved 40 years ago.
The maps that I sent you, I think, it starts around my time, but we do have handwritten pages going back that far of which road?
It's 54th, between
West 54th?
West 54th, between Washington and Adams.
Could I please have a copy of that too when you're emailing it around? Thank you.
I'd like one too.
I'll send it to all of council.
think that's all my road questions. I have
The-
lots of questions, but that's all my road questions.
Does anybody else have anything for the city manager?
I have one thing. Mr. Manager, we would be in Terry's ward on Walnut Boulevard, up from the tennis courts, can't miss it. There's a toilet sitting on the tree lawn, and it's been there for about a week. Nice-looking toilet. But I think they put it out when they put their garbage out last week, and they didn't take it, so it's like been sitting there for a whole week.
Okay.
As far as toilets go, it's a nice looking toilet. yeah.
Mr. Vice President, I do have one more question that pertains to streets and roads. I'm sorry. So I attended the ADDA board meeting, and this is what I was asked, was what our zoning or ordinances are for residents that are living in apartments upstairs. Is there a requirement for off-street parking to be provided by the building owner?
No. So Main Avenue and Bridge Street, both because of the design of them, not only the business doesn't have a requirement, nor does the tenants upstairs have a requirement.
So is this something that, because we're redoing zoning, is this something that we can look into?
Well, I guess my question would be let's take those two particular areas, for instance, where would off-street parking be that a person who owns a building could purchase so that they could have designated off-street parking?
I would say behind the building.
I would argue that there's not parking spaces behind every building to do that. So I'll give you, for instance, let's look at Shenanigans.
Okay.
The size of that building probably would require, I'm guessing, 20 to 25 off-street parking spaces. Where would those be?
So you're talking about for customers?
Yeah.
Or, no, I'm talking about residential.
So what I'm saying is there's parking requirements for both. However, in the downtown area and on Bridge Street, they don't have those parking requirements just because of the nature of those two locations. Because there's on-street parking, if this is something council wants to go down, yes, we can look at that in the new zoning, absolutely.
Yeah, I would like to have that explored. Thank you.
My caution to you is, where is that going to be? And is that going to then prohibit
Well,
above?
how do other downtowns do it?
Other downtowns have parking garages and parking lots and paid parking that people buy into. Or they build the building on top of a parking deck, where you have underground parking.
Well, that was what was asked at the ADDA meeting, so I just wanted to bring that forward.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
Mr. Timonier, in the report, the document you sent us from GPD, and they broke out the agreement, do they typically provide an itemized list of the costs? For example, if you look on page 51, will they list the tasks for their design project and the scope of services? And it's actually for the paving program.
Your question is, I'm sorry, go-
When they list the tasks for the scope, do they itemize the cost, like line item?
most of the time it's based on hours that they put in. I don't recall off the top of my head what their invoice looks like, but I can look into that for you to see if it's itemized.
Okay, is it the one that's in here? Oh,
The
it's
invoice no- would not-
Envisions. Envisions has, I think that's the name of it, has the hourly rate,
Mm-hmm.
and they have it broken down. I was just wondering if GDP offers that level of specificity as well.
Attachment B.
Yeah, and if not, just curious, as we can, when they bid do we get a chance to compare, you know, some costs and things?
I will get you that information.
Curious.
I believe,
Thank you.
Is there anything else for,
I have one more thing. So, and I'm not sure if this is where I'm supposed to ask it or not with the new agenda, but I was asked by a resident, are we prepared if a data center wishes to locate in Ashtabula? So I don't expect really answers tonight. I just kind of wanted to float that question out there. So,
if a data center's willing to locate within the city limits, what do you mean by prepared?
so of course, this has been getting a lot of news coverage, and it appears that this can really drive up electric rates for the residents. So I think the concern was, are we prepared? Are we knowledgeable? Do we know? Because from everything that I have read, data centers could come in, and of course, council's like, oh, yay, 276 construction jobs, let's go ahead. And then the next thing you know, their residents are paying huge electric bills. So I just,
So from what I've seen, it's not localized when it comes to the electric bills that people are saying going up. It's an entire grid thing. There is legislation right now floating at the State House that would prevent that. That would require the data centers to pay their share of that and not affect residents infrastructure-wise. To be completely honest, we don't have the acreage for a data center within the city.
I wondered
Now,
that.
that doesn't mean Ashtabula Township, Saybrook Township, Plymouth Township, our surrounding neighbors could get a data center. And data centers have been looking in Ashtabula County, mostly because of the fresh water that we have. So it is a possibility. Do I think the city would get one? I don't think we have the or the
acreage.
footprint for it. But there are also, we did have some companies that were looking at boutique centers, so a much smaller type that would not require the type of water and electricity that would come with the bigger centers. That never panned out, the one that we had interest in. So.
Okay, thank you.
does anybody else have anything for the city manager?
Mr. Vice President, I was just wondering, do we have any updates with the recycling grant that's
I
still
don't think
in
we'll hear
the-
till April. I think
Okay.
April is when they start doing awards.
Okay. And the only other one, any updates on the Safe Street grant proposal that you had mentioned?
We're still waiting to hear whether one of our neighboring townships is going to participate, so that we can go into a joint on it. But if not, I think we're going to do it ourselves.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Timonier.
You're welcome.
Mr. Khan, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vice President. I have a few items, and the first one is we would like to make an announcement that we're in the middle of the tax season, and the Finance Department is open from 8:30 to 4 p.m., and the Income Tax Division will assist taxpayers inside City Council chambers in this building from April 1st through April 10th, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., April 13th through April 15th from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and we also have additional Saturday dates, which are April 4th and April 11th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. We also have a few ordinances, and the first one is, just a moment. An ordinance authorizing compensation, salaries, and wages to employees of the city of Ashtabula and the Ashtabula City Health District, and this change is due to the restructuring of the Finance Department. And as a result, we need to repeal ordinance number 2026-04. And the last ordinance is, we are requesting an ordinance to make supplemental changes to appropriations in the general fund and all other funds listed on Exhibit A for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Ashtabula, state of Ohio, for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, in the amount of $91,555. And the details can be found on the last page of the backup documentation.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
can I ask Mr. Khan? So in the health department, when they had that grant, does that just come in and come out for that, that person that they rehire? Like,
Thank-
is it the community health nurse or something like that?
Thank you, Ms. Mills. The name of the grant is Workforce 2023, and it's a reimbursable grant for, I believe, 40% for the health commissioner's salary, and the other portion is for the professional services. At the time of developing the budget, I believe they were not sure about the duration of Ms. Renee Powell's term, and they budgeted only for 3 months. But in the beginning of 2026, they decided to extend till end of December. So that requires additional 9 months.
Okay. Well, and that's good. I mean, she's a great asset to the program over there. The other thing I was going to ask you, for that donation outlay, I didn't know what that one was, that MDT, donation matching expense.
That was a donation for the police department, and we are matching the expense line in the same fund with the donation, and I believe MDT stands for, it's a type of training.
It's the
Yeah.
mobile data, it's the computers in their cars. Do
Gotcha.
you remember we received a donation from MFG for those? Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Anything else for our finance director? Thank you, Mr. Khan. So we move to our city solicitor. Ms. Cooper, do you have anything for us tonight?
I have no civil litigation that could cost the city funding that's pending right now that you're unaware of. I don't know that it's pending right now. There's no criminal cases of major import right now. So the only thing I have for council is a request that going forward, we put on the agenda under the legislation, who's requested the legislation. If it's a council member, the council member, if it's the city manager or the finance director. So then if citizens or reporters have questions, they know who to reach out to get the answers. Because by default, they either contact the city manager or myself, and we don't always know the wherefore and whys. So that may be, and it's my understanding that was done years ago. So we would just suggest or request that council begin that practice again. That's all I have.
And is that something that we would need a vote on, or since it's been done before and it's just kind of a,
No.
Okay.
I think you just need to direct the clerk of council.
all right. Any questions for our solicitor? Ms. Milberg, do you have anything for us tonight?
Just a reminder of a couple ribbon cuttings. The first one is Wednesday at noon at Shenanigans on Main Avenue. And the other one is on Saturday, March 14th at the Soiree Event Center downtown on Main Avenue from noon to 3 p.m.
All right, thank you very much. That brings us to the committee reports. We'll start with the Community Development and Economic Development and Parks and Rec.
So our next meeting is this coming Wednesday. It is here at 5:30, and our guest is Kelly Sposito from Neofund.
Thank you very much. Finance and Personnel?
I do have a report. I'm going to try and read real fast. Our Finance and Personnel met up Friday, February 20th. The Finance Director began the meeting by introducing our two new finance employees, Gwendolyn Rivera and Jennifer Meisel. Is it Meisel? Okay. The Finance Director stated that the department is now fully staffed and does not anticipate any interruptions in providing income tax services. The department will be open 2 weekend dates, as Mr. Khan said, to facilitate filings April the 4th and April the 11th. Those are Saturdays, correct? Yes. The Finance Director presented statistics on income tax collection and operations. Collections total almost $900,000. Collections from the Ohio Attorney General's office is nearly $570,000. The department has resumed the collection process for filers and non-filers. He also detailed a significant backlog of non-filers. The department has identified approximately 3,000 non-filers since, I have 1029 in here, but I don't even know what, 2017?
2019.
2019, I just had a little typographical error there, and have received failure to file letters. Mrs. Rivera has identified 7,000 additional non-filers who are partially in the process, and a total of 8,500 total business and individual taxpayers, non-filers. The department plans to start a robust assessment of non-filers once the tax season is done. The Finance Director stated that hundreds of thousands of dollars in missed revenue is due from these non-filers. The department will be requesting an $8,000 supplemental appropriation, which he already did, for software to upgrade the income tax software. While being trained, Mrs. Rivera found a module that would increase the efficiency of the office immensely. The Finance Director presented our December investment report. The city is doing very well, and interest was a bit lower than in 2025, except for Treasury bonds. The city is receiving approximately yield of 3.94% per year. The last year received approximately $500,000 in interest. The manager wrote in his report there is an opening in Public Works Department due to retirement. The city will post 2 openings for the combo jet vac truck very soon. Under new business, the committee discussed council's cell phones. Committee Chair Foglio reported on research she conducted regarding cell phones for councilors. Mrs. Foglio reached out to city managers and councilors for Geneva, Conneaut, Ashtabula Township, and the county commissioners. Only the county commissioners have paid cell phones. None of the other jurisdiction provides cell phones for their elected officials. Phones will cost approximately $37.99 a month per counselor, with that being over $5,000 a year, plus the cost of the cell phone. President Roscovic stated that there were questions raised about using personal phones when they could be subject to public records requests. Committee Chairman Foglio stated that she was made aware of a free app by the school system that can be downloaded to counselors' city computer to store phone records at no charge. Fire Chief Gruber also stated that counselors can add an app called Ring Central, which will allow for one to carry one cell phone but have 2 numbers that ring into that phone. And our next meeting is March 20th at 8:30.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
That Ring Central, is that a free app?
I believe so.
Huh. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Public Works.
Mr. Vice President, I do have a question. So considering you completed the research, Counselor Foglio, what are the next steps?
No motion was made and no second to bring it out of committee. I honestly would have to ask Madam Solicitor, I don't know.
So, since there's nothing pending before council, if a counselor wanted to have an ordinance drafted requiring the city to provide cell phones to city council members, that would be up to the individual counselor to ask the solicitor's office to prepare. And then it would come to a vote.
I have another question, Ms. Foglio. Do you have any idea whether this is an all or nothing proposition, which means it would be available to all council or simply councilors who choose or would request it?
Again, I'd have to go to the solicitor for that answer. I don't know.
Mr. Vice President, I think that the legislation could be drafted such that it would be up to each individual counselor whether they wanted a city cell phone or not. It would be up to council.
And that would be a better indication of what the cost would be, I would imagine.
Thank you. Public Works?
I got a question. So if we got these phones, does that mean you're required to use it?
Would you get a phone if you don't use it?
Well, I don't know, like I have a home line that people call me on. I have a cell phone line that people call me on. If I got another phone on top of that, I mean,
So the
is that,
advantage.
would that be the official Ward 2 number? I mean,
Yes.
that's the way that would work?
Yes. If you had a city cell phone, then the city page would list that as the number to reach you at. You could have your emails sent to that cell phone, but that would be the only thing that would be used with that cell phone is city business, yes. It would require carrying 2 cell phones if you have a personal cell phone, but
Like I've been for, you know,
Can't find my own cell phone.
I just wondered how that would work.
Mr. Vice
and
President.
it's not a must, it's a should.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a city cell phone, all your city business or all your calls about city business should be made and taken on that cell phone number, yes.
Thank you.
And Mr. Vice President, there would also be an expense for all our city business cards to be remade with proper phone numbers. I just wanted to.
And again,
interject
for
that.
clarification, you're saying it would be an option for counselors if they choose to request it. However, it's not mandatory.
Mr. Vice President, the city could certainly draft the legislation that way, that this was available if city councilors wanted it, yes.
Thank you.
Anything else on Finance and Personnel? All right, now we'll go to Public Works.
Okay, our February meeting was canceled. There was not enough for a quorum. Our next meeting is Tuesday, March 24th, here at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you very much. Safety Forces?
Mr. President, our next meeting is next Thursday at 8:30. I believe that's the 12th, right here at Council Chambers.
Okay, thank you. And I have nothing for the Planning Commission or Historic Preservation Commission. That brings us to anything for new business or proposed legislation.
Yeah, I was just, Mr. President, if it's okay. Back to the seniority list. So we're eliminating traffic, is that what I'm reading, or?
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Guerrero, it's not eliminating traffic, but just defining that seniority for the departments of traffic are within Public Works. So in other words, there was some question as to whether or not, if and when a position opened up for that traffic position, whether it would be seniority built within Public Works first, that has first opportunity at that job, or it would have been citywide. So that was the clarification that no, traffic does belong within Public Works.
Okay.
And so that seniority that's within Public Works would be first crack at that. If nobody were to bid on it, Public Works, then it goes citywide.
So what would classify as Public Works? I'm assuming sanitation
No, sanitation is its own department.
is
Yes.
its own department?
Yes.
Okay.
So Public Works is basically the staff you see working on the roads, mowing lawns, working in the parks,
Plowing snow.
plowing snow.
Okay, and then wastewater treatment would be separate?
That's a separate department as well. Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice President, I don't know when to bring this up, but on ordinance 2026-52, 2026-53 for the signs, I would like to ask for 2 readings to be suspended so that we can get it passed, so that the families can.
It's already on the agenda for
On the agenda
passage.
For 2, to be passed?
To be passed.
Okay, good, okay, thank you.
I thought we read those last, or we just brought them up last?
Requested last
Okay,
time.
all right.
So that they can get started on ordering the signs and, okay. Very good.
Any other new business?
I don't have new business, but I do have a comment about the way it's laid out here. Under new business number 7, we have the letter A, and it says for passage. I'm not sure if that's the correct terminology. Maybe it should be for consideration, because some of it won't be passed. Just a structural
Oh,
comment.
you're talking about for the,
For all of our, agendas that are on here on the Chromebooks. Under new business. It's not necessarily for passage. It's for consideration, or I'm not sure what other legal term.
Or does that mean
for
for,
passage or
for one
non-passage.
reading? Is that what it
One of
means?
the two, like, give it an option, like,
So all of the legislation is being presented for consideration. The reason it's listed that way is because it's not being presented for a first or second reading. It's just being presented to be potentially passed at this meeting, rather than just having a first reading and then having a second reading at the next meeting.
so that when you get down to B, it's first reading.
Correct.
So we're not voting on that one.
Right.
Right. That's just a first reading on that one.
So, Mr. Vice President, may I ask a question?
yes.
So, all of the items listed under A for passage are going to require a waiver of
Right.
the requirement for a second reading.
Correct.
And be passed today.
Yes.
Okay.
Presented today for consideration. It may not pass.
Right. For possible passage.
So what about if we already did a first reading?
I thought we did, but.
You know, like, how would that,
Second
Then it would be listed under the
that's a
second reading.
Thank you.
Anything more on that? Any discussion of old business? Okay, discussion for good of the order? All right, seeing nothing with that, we will adjourn the pre-council meeting, and our regular council meeting will start at 7 PM.
When I chatted with you about the thriving community, you said you
Okay, that's fine, yeah, perfect.
We're going to call the finance meeting, or finance, we're going to call the council meeting to order.
Good to see you. How you doing today, Mr.
Right. Right. We're going to call the council meeting to order. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. If you would please stand for a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, and after the pledge, please remain standing for some words from Mrs. Foglio, followed by a moment of silence.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to let your inspiration precede this council's actions and all present here today, and your assistance further us so that every word and work of ours may take its beginning from you, and so begun may through you reach its completion. Amen.
On February 20th of this year, this city and county of Ashtabula lost a great leader. Jean Marie Bento was the first woman to be elected as a county commissioner in Ashtabula in 1984. She served for 12 years. Jean also served as the city's representative to the Ashtabula County Convention and Facilities Authority Board for decades. Jean was committed to the Geneva State Lodge and was a founding member. Jean was also a very compassionate member of Birth Care and many more boards during her lifetime. Her leadership and service left a lasting effect on this county and on us females, and she paved the way and set an example for all women in politics. Jean's husband, Ed, was also our city manager. Jean was a close family friend, and the last time I talked to her a couple weeks ago, I needed advice on a political matter, and of course, Jean had the answer. Jean has resided in Florida for the last 8 years, and I had the opportunity to visit her in her lovely home. As much as she loved her Ashtabula family, she also adored her Florida family. Even though she lived some 1,200 miles away in Florida, she knew everything that was going on in this county before any of us living here did. Rest in peace, Jean. Well done, good and faithful servant.
Thank you. Ms. Milberg, can you call the roll?
Ms. Holman? Present. Mrs. Mills?
Here.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Here.
Mrs. Foglio?
Here.
Mr. Guerrero?
Here.
Mr. Simeone?
Here.
Mr. Roskovich? Mr. Timonier?
Here.
Ms. Cooper? Here. Mr. Khan?
Here.
May we have a motion to excuse Mr. Roskovich from tonight's meeting?
I'll move on that.
Second.
Mr. Guerrero. Mrs. Foglio is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? He will be excused approved by a 6-0 vote. We have met the requirements of the Sunshine Law, so we will now move to the reading of the legislation.
Ordinance number 2026-42, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Scott and Linda Lester for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 1021 Michigan Avenue, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004. Ordinance number 2026-43, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Damon Harris for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 3348 Brianna Court, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004. Ordinance number 2026-44, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Envision Group LLC for purpose of preparing a zoning and planning code update. Ordinance number 2026-45, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with GPD Group of Akron, Ohio for the purpose of providing engineering, design, and construction administration for the 2026 paving program. Ordinance number 2026-46, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding between AFSCME, Local 1197, and the City of Ashtabula to clarify departmental seniority in the Department of Public Works and remove obsolete supervisor positions listed within the collective bargaining agreement. Ordinance number 2026-47, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Johnson's Tree Service LLC for the removal of trees in various locations. Ordinance number 2026-48, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Lampion Companies to repair damage and replace signalization at the intersection of East 24th Street and Harbor Avenue. Ordinance number 2026-49, an ordinance repealing ordinance 2026-04 for the purpose of enacting replacement legislation. Ordinance number 2026-50, an ordinance authorizing compensation, salaries, and wages to employees of the City of Ashtabula and the Ashtabula City Health District. Ordinance number 2026-51, an ordinance to make supplemental changes to appropriations in the general fund and all other funds listed on Exhibit A for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Ashtabula, State of Ohio, for the period January 1st through December 31st, 2026. Ordinance number 2026-52, an ordinance authorizing the installation of a memorial sign honoring Jerry Monis to be posted at the Ashtabula Harbor Top Key Pickleball Courts, Ashtabula, Ohio. Ordinance number 2026-53, an ordinance authorizing the installation of a sign honoring the Robert Morrison Foundation Molded Fiberglass Corporation for the creation of the fiberglass body for the Corvette to be placed on major streets and roads where they enter the city of Ashtabula, Ohio. Ordinance number 2026-54, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an Appalachian Community Grant Program subrecipient grant agreement with Eastgate Regional Council of Governments for the purpose of the Main Avenue Facade Program within the city of Ashtabula. Ordinance number 2026-55, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Medical Mutual Life Insurance Company in order to renew the group life insurance coverage for employees of the city of Ashtabula.
May we have a motion to approve the order of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Mills moves. Mrs. Foglio seconds.
Actually, it was Mrs. DeGiacomo
Oh,
that
was it?
moved.
Oh. I see what John means. It's all the way down that
Yeah.
end. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That will pass by 6-0 margin. I don't believe we have any special items today. So that'll bring us to, are there any communications? That brings us to the citizen portion of tonight's meeting. For those who haven't been here, you would just approach the podium, give us your name and kind of a location identifier, whether you want to give us your address, cross street, your ward, and you have 5 minutes to speak. Say what you would like to say.
Good evening, council. My name is Anthony Oquendo, Ward 1. Just a couple things, nothing too crazy. I just want to touch on kind of the cell phone, just because it's kind of my area of expertise. The cell phones for city council, it would probably be the cheapest route to do like an app on your phone, if I'm being completely honest. Something like the Ring Central. There are a lot of other programs out there that would make sense. That way you don't have to carry an extra device. It's just an app on your phone. You can receive calls. Some of them even do text messages, picture messages. Then of course you would have your government emails on there as well. And then, I don't know, I imagine there would be some kind of legislation that would only subject that app and those emails to any kind of open records requests. Second thing I wanted to talk about was, I didn't make the last meeting, but I heard and read in the minutes that Mr. Timonier, you had a discussion with CSX and they were unwilling to cooperate in any further maintenance with the underpass on Lake Avenue. It's unfortunate to hear that, to be honest with you, and I'm glad that Norfolk Southern is a little bit more cooperative. I imagine there's got to be something creative we could do legislation-wise for at least them to maintain it to the point where it looks decent at that underpass. Yeah, that's just something I would recommend if we can do that. Yeah, that's really all I have for tonight.
Mr. Vice President. If I might, Mr. Oquendo, so just to clarify, I did not actually speak to CSX personally. We had a conversation with the Surface Transportation Board, who was brought in to try to get some more answers from them and bring more attention to it. They relayed to the Surface Transportation Board at the federal government level that they would not be speaking to us anymore. They also relayed to the Surface Transportation Board about kind of the cosmetics that you're talking about. And they sent them a wonderful webpage that CSX has where if we want that, what I would call put lipstick on a pig, we would have to pay for that.
Do we know why we would have to pay for that? Especially, I mean, if it's in, what if it's in an ordinance?
It seems like it's federal legislation where these structures, they're responsible for the top parts, and anything underneath, if we wanted it to look a certain way, we would have to participate in doing so. I'll be happy to forward you the page that they're referring to.
Yeah, I'd be happy to see that. Thank you.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
could I address Mr. Oquendo?
Yes.
Just a couple questions, since phones are your expertise. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just looking for some clarification. You mentioned that we could still have 2 lines on one phone, but that would still be our personal phone.
It would still be your personal phone. You would have your personal line that you paid through your carrier, AT&T, Verizon, Spectrum, whoever it is. You would just have an app that you would download on your phone. So for me at my shop at Cracked, I have my personal line that has my personal phone number on it. I also have an app called 3CX. 3CX is where I receive all of my business calls to my shop. So anybody who calls Cracked, it rings directly into my phone. Also, it can be configured a million different ways where that one phone number could ring to many different phones, or you could each have your own individual number.
And if I may, Madam Solicitor, that would still, if a public records request, we would still have to.
Turn over the entire phone, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the second question is Ring Central. Is that not a basic, I believe there's a basic charge for that service, whether it's one or multiple phones?
I just did a quick search when Ms. DiGiacomo asked if there was a cost to it, and it does look like there is a basic charges.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any comments tonight? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to.
Mr. Vice President,
I was just wondering, which I'm not sure on that, if you have to increase your data when you do that one app. I don't,
It would be voice, so it would be voice over internet, so yes, it would use data.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Right, we'll move to counselor comments. Anybody has anything?
I do.
Okay.
So is this just general comments?
I mean, it won't,
Any concerns?
yeah,
Any
it wouldn't go under,
Well, what I want to, what I want to bring up is that on May 25th, we're having our Memorial Day Parade. Right now, we have Lakeside Band, we have 400 to 500 Little Leaguers, we have, actually, we have a lot of people that are getting involved, but we want more people. So if your business, your organization would like to get involved, we would love to have you in our parade. Reach out to me, and I will get the information to you. And we just really want to make it a big deal this year. It's been a few years since we've had a parade, and it's our Parks Board that is doing the work, and I'm very proud of them for picking up the slack and stepping forward. That was it.
So, Mrs. DiGiacomo,
Yeah.
what is the, like if I wanted to have a float in the parade,
Yes.
what would the cutoff day be for, or did you have to ask for permission for that, or is there
So there's a form
a,
that,
the form?
there's a form you would fill out. Right now, we don't have a cutoff date. I mean, this is our first year doing it. So I would imagine if you reached out to me 3 days before, I would get you in there, Terry.
Well, I have an organization I belong to, kicked around the idea of putting one together, but we didn't know the time. You know, to make the float, we're gonna need some nice weather, you know, we're hoping we can put it together. Well, we were thinking about it, I mean, I don't know for sure, that's why I don't wanna throw it out there quite yet, but I just wondered if there was a time.
I don't think we have that. I have a cutoff date. Our next meeting is March 23rd at 4:30 for the parade meeting, and that will be something I'm gonna ask, cutoff date.
And is there a fee?
Nope. Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. We will now move to, oh, you have, okay.
Yeah, all council and maybe some of the other folks who have attended the racial wealth gap simulation. Fortunately, we've had at least 3 council members who have attended, and other counselors who have asked about dates, future dates. And so I would propose either council let us know when is a date that you could attend, or would you rather just have it as a, not the pre-council, the meeting, work session, that way we wouldn't have to look for additional dates, but we would do the simulation on a date that's currently scheduled for a council meeting.
So I know I did the simulation, but help me remember, how long did that take?
It can be done in an hour.
An hour?
Mhm.
So like at 5 o'clock
Yeah.
before?
Mhm. It would cut the debrief short, but the main part of the simulation could be completed.
I'm in favor of the same night.
That would probably work best for me also.
Thank you all.
Okay, anybody else? We'll move to the approval of the minutes.
February 17th, 2026, pre-council meeting was called to order at 6 PM by Council President Roscovics. Present, Mr. Roscovics, Mr. Simeone, Mrs. Foglio, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Holman, Mrs. Mills. Officers present, City Manager Timonier, City Solicitor Cooper, Finance Director Khan, and Clerk of Council Milberg. Absent was Mrs. DiGiacomo.
May we have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes in their entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves. Ms. Holmes seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All passed by 6-0 margin.
February 17th, 2026, regular council meeting was called to order at 7 PM by Council President Roscovics. Ward 4 Councilor Mills offered the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Present, Mr. Roscovics, Mr. Simeone, Mrs. Foglio, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Holman, and Mrs. Mills. Officers present, City Manager Timonier, City Solicitor Cooper, Finance Director Khan, and Clerk of Council Milberg. Absent, Mrs. DiGiacomo.
May we have a motion to move the reading of the minutes in their entirety?
So moved.
Second, Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds. Ms. Holman.
Ms. Holman moves. Mrs. DiGiacomo seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That will pass by 6-0 margin. We have no resolutions tonight, so that will bring us to the new business or the legislation for possible passage. Yep.
Ordinance number 2026-42, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Scott and Linda Lester for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 1021 Michigan Avenue, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004. Ordinance number 2026-43, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Damon Harris for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 3348 Brianna Court, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004. Ordinance number 2026-44, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Envision Group LLC for purpose of preparing a zoning and planning code update. Ordinance number 2026-45, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with GPD Group of Akron, Ohio for the purpose of providing engineering, design, and construction administration for the 2026 paving program. Ordinance number 2026-46, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding between AFS-CME Local 1197 and the City of Ashtabula to clarify departmental seniority in the Department of Public Works and remove obsolete supervisor positions listed within the collective bargaining agreement. Ordinance number 2026-47, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Johnston's Tree Service LLC for the removal of trees in various locations. Ordinance number 2026-48, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Lampion Companies to repair damage and replace signalization at the intersection of East 24th Street and Harbor Avenue. Ordinance number 2026-49, an ordinance repealing ordinance 2026-04 for the purpose of enacting replacement legislation. Ordinance number 2026-50, an ordinance authorizing compensation, salaries, and wages to employees of the City of Ashtabula and the Ashtabula City Health District. Ordinance number 2026-51, an ordinance to make supplemental changes to appropriations in the general fund and all other funds listed on Exhibit A for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Ashtabula, State of Ohio for the period January 1st through December 31st, 2026. Ordinance number 2026-52, an ordinance authorizing the installation of a memorial sign honoring Jerry Monis to be posted at the Ashtabula Harbor Top Key Pickleball Courts, Ashtabula, Ohio. Ordinance number 2026-53, an ordinance authorizing the installation of a sign honoring the Robert Morrison Foundation Molded Fiberglass Corporation for the creation of the fiberglass body for the Corvette to be placed on major streets and roads where they enter the city of Ashtabula, Ohio. Ordinance number 2026-54, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an Appalachian Community Grant Program subrecipient grant agreement with Eastgate Regional Council of Governments for the purpose of the Main Avenue facade program within the city of Ashtabula.
Thank you, Ms. Milberg. Ms. Milberg, do we have a motion to handle these items in consent agenda format?
Point of clarification, Mr. Vice President, I apologize if I'm missing something, but the CRAs, this is actually a second reading for them? Did I miss that? Second?
It's not a second reading. They were requested at a previous meeting, and I believe Mr. Timonier had sent out all the information to counselors prior.
Okay, then given that, no, I prefer it not to be in consent agenda.
Okay, and would that be 42 and 43?
Yes.
So do we have a motion to handle in consent agenda format, or in ordinances 2026-44 through 2026-54?
I'll move on that, Mr. President.
Second.
Mr. Guerrero moves, and Ms. Mills seconds. Any discussion?
I have a couple questions. So for the signs, do we know what they're going to say? Yep.
We have that packet. Did you get that last?
I just got
Oh, I'm
it
sorry.
tonight.
You want to see mine?
We're doing that on June 20th, I think.
Okay, I got the packet. Because I missed last meeting.
She has it, yeah.
Any other discussion?
I have one more question. So it says for all the major roads coming in for the Morrison sign, do we know the exact count of how many signs?
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Giacomo, we had discussed about redoing all the signs that we have because they're kind of hodgepodge all around town. If you recall a previous meeting, I had mentioned
I
this.
wasn't at the previous meeting.
Yeah, I don't think it was at the last meeting. I think it was meetings even prior to that when we first started talking about this. The sign that's in front of the YMCA, the welcome sign there,
Yes.
I would like to kind of standardize that and put that as our sign, and then
Welcome.
have the Urban Meyer sign, the Connie Schultz sign, the MFG sign, all included on that, so a little bit of a redesign. Also included on those signs has been traditionally in all communities, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, so reach out to those organizations as well. So my anticipation would be both ends of Route 20. I believe we have one up on Bunker Hill, but it's kind of hidden and not the best location. So pop maybe your front yard, because that's a great spot on Austinburg Road. And yeah, we'll put the sign in your front
There's a
yard there.
lot more
Yeah.
Bright lights.
Bright lights that we can hook up to your generators.
Blinking.
Yeah, blinking, yeah. No, but trying to find those entry points out by Kent State, we have another sign out there. So some of those main thoroughfares that come into the city, I'm guessing between 4 and 6 signs that would be erected in that way.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Thomas Fence helped us with this one out here. This was before my time, or over there, I should say. But we would, my guess is we'll have to do some kind of proposal to different companies to build these.
Okay,
Mr. President, Mr. Manager, I'm sorry. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Manager, it's under Section 1 of the ordinance, is that the city manager is authorized to design and post signs at the appropriate locations, US Route 20, US Route 84, US Route 531, including intersection for the latter route and State Route 11. So it's right in the ordinance. Down by the crow's nest, must be down by the crow's nest.
So 531 east and west,
So it'd be
Route 20 east and west, and 84 coming north.
Mrs. Foglio, there's one now that's on State Road by the tracks. Would that be,
I'll determine all the spots and bring them back to you when we get ready
okay?
to roll.
Because I was just thinking there's one that's over by me on that side. Okay.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
This is for Mr. Timonier. And I know you sent the applications for the CRAs. I just have a couple of questions for my own understanding. I don't recall it seeing it on the application, but do we ask if they are first-time home buyers?
I do not believe so, no.
So, and is there a difference, or is it the same of being owner-occupied and primary residence?
To me, that's the same thing. When we say owner-occupied, it's that their primary residence, yes. Mhm.
And do we inquire to see whether or not this is their only home or their multi-property owner?
We do not.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor of handling items 2026-44 through 2026-54 in consent agenda format? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That will pass by a 6-0 margin. Motion to waive the reading of the legislation in its entirety for 2026-44 through 2026-54.
So moved.
I'll second. Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds.
Mrs. Foglio moves, Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That will pass by a 6-0 margin. And a motion to waive the charter requirements of 2 readings.
So moved.
Mrs. Foglio moves.
Second.
I believe that was Mrs. Mills. Second. Anyone, any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you to the honoring committee. I know this was for the one I was working on for the Manas family when Mrs. Oliver came to me, and I had a packet of stuff, and it was like, what do we do with this? And we had a committee before making another committee, and I apologized it took so long, but it's the process, but we finally got to it. So thank you to the entire committee for what they did for both of these families. And I think it's wonderful and exciting. So thank everybody, and thank you for being patient, because it's not that nothing moves fast enough up here. I understand that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Milberg, will you call the roll?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
Ms. Milberg, will you call the roll on the adoption of this legislation?
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
And do we have a motion to handle ordinance number 2026-42 and 2026-43?
So moved.
Ms. Holman moves.
I'll second.
Mrs. Foglio seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will handle those 2 pieces of legislation by a 6-0 vote. Do we have a motion to waive the reading of the legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves. Ms. Mills seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That is passed by 6-0 margin. And do we have a motion to waive charter requirements of 2 readings?
Second.
Ms. Holman moves. And was that Ms. Mills?
Second.
Second? Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Ms. Milberg, will you call the roll?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
No.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
That has passed by a 5-1 margin. And Ms. Milberg, will you call the roll for the adoption of the legislation?
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
No.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
And that legislation has passed by a 5-1 margin. Ms. Milberg, do you want to do the first reading of the next ordinance?
Ordinance number 2026-55, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Medical Mutual Life Insurance Company in order to renew the group life insurance coverage for employees of the city of Ashtabula.
Do we have a motion to waive the reading of this legislation in its entirety?
So, Mrs. Holman moves, Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds.
Ms. Holman moves, Ms. Giacomo seconds. Any discussion?
Yes. What is the death benefit on here? What are we giving these guys?
I have my old policy from 1974, if you want to look at that. I really do. I think it's 30.
I want to say it's 30, but.
Now, does the employee have an option of, like if you have a minor kid or a spouse or something, can they pay for extra? How does that work?
I don't believe that they can add on to it. When we bring this is just a request tonight, right? Or no,
Right.
wait, the legislation's first reading. So I'll bring you back that information for the next meeting. Yep.
No, I'll take care of it.
I want to say it's 30,000, but I'm not positive.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That is passed by 6-0 margin. That brings us to any continuing business. I don't believe we have any second readings. We don't need any approval votes for any administrative approval votes. So that will bring us to tell us something we don't know.
I do have something. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
There are 2 things that I wanted to bring up. One is that May 9th is going to be our city cleanup day, and I believe emails are going out this week to past participants, but this is also something if you want to get involved in, that would be great. I thought it would be kind of cool, since it's America's 250, to kind of adopt the motto for Ashtabula, to beautify, so that not only are we going to be cleaning up the city on May 9th, but maybe if we could all work more at keeping our city clean, that would be great. 250 beautify. The other thing is Ashtabula Arts Center is collecting water bottles, so don't throw them out of your car and make our city ugly. Keep them and bring them to the Arts Center, because they're doing a big pop culture art project. That's it.
Thank you.
I have something. The month of March is dedicated to developmental disabilities. Tonight, the lift bridge in Ashtabula Harbor will be lit up in orange for all those who have developmental disabilities. March is also Multiple Sclerosis Month. I'm wearing this orange sweater tonight for my son Kyle, who suffers from advanced progressive MS. He was diagnosed at the age of 33, and he's now 38. MS is a chronic long-term disease for which there is no cure. MS attacks the brain, spinal cord, and affects one's ability to walk, dexterity, memory, and bodily functions. As a mother, it's heartbreaking to watch this disease take over any young person's body, much less your own son. Please keep in mind this Orange Month of March, all who suffer from multiple sclerosis and developmental disabilities. Chief Sal, can you come up here for a minute?
Okay.
This picture is from the 1930s Asheville Police Department. I know you've probably seen this before. This is the original picture.
Oh, yeah.
So it's my mom's picture. This is my great uncle, Harry Budapest, and I'm giving it to you to post downstairs in the room if you still have pictures down there.
We do.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So you're welcome. And also, we've been cleaning out, this is the, not for you, no. This is the Roberts Rules of Order. This is dated 1949. It's the property of Ashtabula City Council of Parents and Teachers. It's from Mary Ann D'Angelo, who's a relative of mine, and I'm going to give this to the clerk of council, Keith. Yep. You're welcome.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything for tell us something we don't know?
Mr. Vice President?
Yes.
Okay, well, somebody's been cleaning out their cupboards, right, over there? That's awesome. I just wanted to remind everybody that, believe it or not, this Saturday is time change. So don't forget, I cannot believe it's already. So it's spring ahead on Saturday, which is the 7th. And I wanted to remind folks that this month we have 2 different master plan steering committee meetings. Our group, we're meeting Tuesday, March 10th, but the public meeting forum is at Kent State University, the Blue and Gold Room, and it's Thursday, March 26th at 6 p.m. So if you went to the first one at the library, we want you to come to the second one as well. Get as many people as you can, because this is building off more information and data that we received. So it's not, if you think if I went to the first, oh, it's the same old, but it's not. So tell everybody Thursday, March 26th at 6 p.m. at the Blue and Gold Room. And the only other thing was a reminder that the Go Bus did start today, and I don't know, Mr. Manager, do you have any info on people coming or going with the Go Bus, or?
Being the first day, we don't have any data, no. The
Okay.
bus was spotted down there, so it did stop.
That's what I,
Yep.
yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, that happened so fast. Yeah. That was all. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Anybody else?
I will say that after the last meeting, we had an executive session, and I do think there is an opportunity for us to do some collective learning around that. So I will be thinking and talking to our solicitor's office to see what is it that we can do to improve the process.
Thank you.
I just have one more comment. I just want to say, Russ, you did a great job.
Well,
You
thank you.
really did. Smooth sailing.
All right. Well, being that that is it, and we do not have an executive session tonight, we will adjourn the meeting. Next meeting will be Monday, March 16th, 2026. Pre-council will be at 6 p.m., regular council at 7 p.m. Everybody stay warm and stay safe.
Parks meeting is March 23rd. My meeting, you mean, or? So the Parks Board meeting is March 23rd. But their information will flow, from our last meeting will flow to my meeting on March 4th.
No, I don't like using mine
Is economic development, community development. The 23rd. It's at 5:30. If you want to be a part of the parade, that's at 4:30.